This episode covers days 175 through 185 of this honeydew germination experiment. So as you can see, the foliage all still looks pretty good, and there's been more growth. I'm using the balcony railing as a trellis, and here you can see the shoot apical meristem of vine 1. It's very healthy and robust. It's growing fast. That's vine 2 over there, and they sort of climb back in. So I'll probably have to readjust them later on and kind of shove them towards the balcony again. Towards the light source. And here's the, vine 3, still just barely tall enough to make it up there. So here's the offshoot of vine 1, and it's made its way pretty high up as well. It's just kind of dangling there, and I'll let it climb the other vines to reach the top and get access to light and bees, hopefully. So this is a female flower, so it took me a while to figure this out, and after doing some research. But basically, the ones with the bulge, the ovule, are the females, and this one, I can't tell if it's flowered yet or not. So this one is another case of what looks to me plainly as a female flower, but I don't recall ever seeing the flower come out. So I might have missed the chance for pollination, but it sort of looks like it's about to flower, but it's been a while. So here's another angle at that. Here's a male flower. It doesn't have, that pre-melon in the back, so to speak. So, they're just very green, very fuzzy, well protected from insects, and they look big. But these are actually, as far as I know, not fertilized melons ready to grow. So this structure is kind of weird. It's just been like that for ages, and it doesn't seem to have, it's not a female, but, it's not really a male either, in the sense that, no flower ever came out of that. Here's the female flower that I was paying attention to earlier. The melon part is yellow, and it just stayed like that for a while. Here's another pan over of all 3 vines climbing my balcony wall. And you can see there's trouble brewing. A lot of these leaves in the shade against the wall are kind of a light yellow green. Same with these leaves in the pot. So here's a close-up on another female flower, but I don't recall ever seeing this one flower or bloom. So I don't know what's the deal with that. Here's a later look, a few days later, at this one that I keep fixating on, and it's just going nowhere. It turns out I have a spreading spider mite infestation from my sweet potato vines, so I made this homemade insecticide out of crushed and chopped up habanero peppers to see if that pepper spray could kill these spider mites. And I applied it, I think 3 days in a row, but it didn't get rid of all of them. At this point I was getting really impatient, so I tried to use a floss stick end to get some pollen from a open, healthy male flower on vine 2 and try to pollinate, a female flower on vine 1. I've just never seen any of these female flowers in the act of blooming, so I'd never have an opportunity to pollinate them. So after 3 application days of that homemade pepper spray based on habanero peppers, I tried to use this rose and flower insect killer from Bayer. I've had this in my cabinets for a really long time under the kitchen sinks. And basically this one keeps on killing for up to 30 days, so it'll probably lose its potency before that. I want something that's okay to use as long as bees aren't actively foraging. And this is a lot less potent than the insecticide I used for early days, the Bayer Advanced that I sprayed in the water trays that ended up killing bees. So I had no choice. I had to apply it to all these quickly dying honeydew vines. This is with it already sprayed on. So the infestation had become extremely dire on 4 out of 5 of my plant experiments, and I had to take action with some synthetic insecticide. So hopefully that kills off the remaining spider mites. Here's a pristine new female flower on one of the vines, and it looks like it's about to flower, so I have to check mornings and nights, before and after work to see if I can catch it in the right window to do a manual pollination with a male flower. And that was off of vine 1's offshoot. So this is elsewhere on vine 1. In the beginning they just keep producing all these male flowers because the level of sexual reproduction investment is much lower by pollinating some other plant. But to, basically bear such huge fruits, that's a huge investment. So they do the female flowers later when they have more leaves and more robust growth. So that's on vine 1. I'm tracing it all the way back. The leaves just get unhealthy as soon as you get out of the top there where the sun is. And these leaves just look really sickly. So this thing still hasn't budged, and neither has this one. So I'll just wait and see if these things ever change.